Hare Krishna. Welcome to our channel Droplets of Nectar. Today we will be seeing the flow of shlokas in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita entitled Contents of Gita Summarized. The whole bird view of this chapter will be discussed in this lecture. Hare Krishna. So we proceed with the statement of Arjuna, with the condition of Arjuna in the first chapter, and he was indecisive finally and accepts Lord Krishna as his Guru. So this starts with the first shloka of second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and from first shloka to 10th shloka it goes the events that Arjuna is then finally in 7th shloka considers Krishna as his Guru. He surrenders to Krishna, and in this way the shloka from 1st to 10th goes. Actually, in the first third shloka 1, 2, 3, Lord Krishna chastises Arjuna and disapproves his so-called compassion. Very severely Arjuna is being chastised by Krishna. Then in the 4th to 6th shloka, Arjun is further more confused and he expresses more doubts and confusion. Finally, in 7th to 10th shloka, Arjun surrenders to Krishna and Krishna begins to speak. In 11th to 13th, Arjuna actually laments unnecessarily, and Krishna says that there is no need to lament unnecessarily. There is no need that you should lament for these individuals. Krishna says all individuals exist eternally and they are changing their bodies. Their changing of their bodies is natural. Every individual will change its body. Thus he starts giving the Gyan of Sankhya Yoga, analysis of the body and the soul, matter and the spirit. This goes on from the 11th shloka to 30th shloka. In 11 to 13, Krishna specifically describes of the changing nature of the bodies and the temporariness of the human body, So Krishna very clearly describes the existence of the soul. And finally in 14th to 15th he says we should tolerate the dualities. Equanimity is eligibility for liberation. What is the way for liberation? Equanimity. In 16th to 22nd, Krishna very clearly describes that soul never dies and the body is perishable. Changing bodies is similar to changing the clothes. In the verse 23 to 25, the qualities of the eternal soul is described. Finally, in the verse number 26 to 30, birth and death are inevitable. This great statement Krishna gives. Everyone who takes birth has to die, and everyone who dies has again to take birth. So there is no need to lament for the eternal soul, so that soul never dies. And this is explained in these verses by Krishna. Finally, in the 31st to 37th shlok, Sakam Karma Yoga is being described by Krishna. Krishna focuses more on performing prescribed duties that results in enjoyment. He says, 31st to 32nd shloka, he says, in these two shloka, Krishna focuses on doing the prescribed duty of fighting, which will open the doors for heaven. Instead of running away from his duty, one should fight and one should continuously do his own duty till the end of his life. He should not run away from his duty. In 33rd to 36th shloka, Krishna says, by avoiding fight, you will incur sin, infamy, and criticism. So Krishna warns Arjuna of the sin, real sin. Krishna explains what is the real sin, how he will incur sin in not fighting, in fighting and avoiding the fight. Benefit of fight. Krishna in 37th shloka says there are some times where the war is necessary, where kingdom is gained in victory and heaven in defeat. If you will be defeated, then you will gain heaven, and hence there is both side benefit in fighting. And finally, in the verse sequence 38 to 53, Krishna then explains Nishkam Karma Yoga, Buddhi Yoga. He explains that one should work without being attached to the fruits. That is, our work should be detached without reactions. In 38th verse, Krishna explains dutifully fighting with the equanimity, which results in no sin. 39th and 40th verse, Krishna explains the concept of Buddhi Yoga, that there is no loss in this yoga. Even if one performs without any endeavor, without any law, though so much intelligence, there will be no loss. In verse number 41 to 46, Krishna explains Vyasatmika intelligence and tells Arjuna to be focused on one particular thing. And Vedic Karma Kand procedure is being explained in these verses 41 to 46. Then 47 to 49 verses explains how to practice Nishkam Karma Yoga. Then in verse number 50 to 53, Krishna very clearly explains what is the benefit of acting in Buddhi Yoga, what one will finally get if one acts in Buddhi Yoga. These are the flow of verses since first shloka where Arjuna is indecisive till this 53rd shloka where Krishna finally tells that one should be focused in his own duty. Finally, Arjuna again asks in the 54th shloka what is the actions and what are the symptoms of the Sthita Pragya, and all the qualities and description of the Sthita Pragya, one who is focused in his own actions, one who is a perfected devotee, and his symptoms, his actions, all are described in the 54th shloka till the 72nd shloka, last part of the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. In 54th shloka, Arjuna asks the four questions, question 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 questions about Sthita Pragya, and all the 4 questions are sequentially answered by Krishna. First question is answered by Krishna in the 55th shlok, symptoms of Sthita Pragya. In 56 and 57 shlok, Krishna answers second question of Arjuna, that is how Sthita Pragya speaks, what is the speeches, how the Sthita Pragya, what is the speech, that Krishna says Sthita Pragya's response to dualities in the speeches. And then 58th to 63rd shloka, Krishna answers the third question of Arjuna regarding Sthita Pragya. Krishna says Sthita Pragya's sense control, sitting procedure. He withdraws his senses like a tortoise. Sense control is difficult even for the wise and is possible only by Krishna Bhakti. One falls down in 8 stages due to uncontrolled mind. Finally, in 64th shloka till 71st shloka, Krishna answers the 4th question of Arjuna, that is how Sthita Pragya is walking. The walking procedure of Sthita Pragya is being answered. Sthita Pragya's sense engagement by attaining the Lord's mercy Once intelligence is established and one attains peace, agitated senses carry away intelligence, and hence Sthita Pragya is unagitated. And in this way, Krishna answers all the four questions of Arjuna. How Krishna, and finally, Krishna answers all the questions and inspires Arjuna to fight and move ahead. This is the flow of shlokas described in the second chapter. And in this way, second chapter ends. Hare Krishna.